Hey, before this starts, I had a grand idea. Each video, I'm gonna have a song on in the background, and it's gonna be like, I'm gonna be like, wow, hey guys, this is my favorite song right now. And then it'll like play in the background and stuff. I think that'd be cool, right? Right? Anyone? Hello? Hey. I'm not really sure what I plan on doing with this channel. But welcome to my first video. Wow. I got this new hat today, by the way. Isn't that awesome? Anyway. My name's Aurora. Essentially, this channel is just gonna be me yammering about life. If you know me and you find this channel, I'm hoping that no one I really know is gonna find this, but no guarantees. Anyway, I'm Aurora. I'm a trans woman. Cool, right? I think that's a fun one to talk about for a first video. I don't really know. I'd never write anything down for any kind of video I make. My experience being trans, I think everyone's experience is very unique. I came out when I was 17. I was 17 when I came out. And I remember I talked to one of my friends, and I talked to her not too long ago, and one thing she said to me was, oh, I really admire how you went about coming out and everything. You were very unapologetic. And I think that's something that I took to heart. And without realizing, I think I very quickly adopted a mindset, especially when coming out to my friends, because being 17 in the UK, like in college and shit, and I was like a little gym rat before coming out as well. My friends, I expected them not to take it very well. So I kind of set it out in my mind that, you know, this is a choice I'm making for myself. If these people don't like it, they can fuck off. And they didn't like it, so they fucked off. And it was hard. It was hard. You know, I'd known these people since like year 7. I'd known these people for a long time. And yeah, it kind of sucked. But, you know, you very quickly find people who aren't dickheads. You know, people who are a bit more accepting. And yeah, I think it's just something that comes with time, something that comes with the confidence to put yourself out there, which is very hard to do, especially early transition. It was very scary. Being a baby trans is very scary. And I say that as if I'm not still a baby trans. What does that term even mean? What's the fucking definition? Because I've been out for... I don't even know. About a year and a half. I've been out for a year and a half. I've been on hormones for about 15, 16 months. I don't know. Part of me still feels very early into this, and realistically I am. But I know people who have just transitioned, and it's very scary for them. I think ultimately it takes a lot of courage, but you have to keep in mind, and this is something that I fought very hard with myself to keep this in the forefront of my mind, that like ultimately this is a choice I'm making for me to go through with transitioning. Like, I'm not saying it's a choice to be trans. I personally think that that's bullshit. Mainly because I and most other trans women I know have a similar experience. I remember being like really young. Oh my god, this dates back. I was like really, really young, like 5 or 6. And I would always tell my mom, oh my god, I wish I had a sister. And I would say that and like she'd be like, why? And I'd be like, because I'd love to have a sister, I'd love to hang out with her, that'd be awesome. And I think she assumed I was just gonna be like gay. Not too far off. But really what I wanted to say was, wow, really wish I was a girl. Really, can I change? Can I change? But even at that young age, I rationalized it in my head. I was like, too late now. Then I found out what transitioning was when I was like probably about 12, 13. And I had a big long think, and I essentially came to the conclusion that life would be a lot easier if I was born a girl, but transitioning is a lot of effort. I don't think that's for me. And then I lived out my teenage years miserable for the most part. I wasn't happy. I mean, no one is as a teenager, I'm sure, but like it was rough. So then yeah, and I remember it was November of 2023 that really set me down my current path. I was this is a big lore dump in the first recording, huh? I was deep into a now this is gonna be like cringe. I was deep into a caffeine addiction. Whole other circle with that. As a gym rat, I think pre-workout, if you are not like 18 or maybe even 21, you should not be allowed that shit. That shit gets you hooked. And I was deep into that. I'm talking like multiple grams of caffeine per day, every day. It was not good. And obviously that did a lot mentally, which I couldn't see at the time somehow. But one day in November of 2023, I'm sat there, I'm daydreaming, I love daydreaming, and I'm like, okay, time to stop daydreaming, let's do something. And then I lock back in, and it's like the fucking Binding of Isaac menu. Who am I? Who am I? I couldn't remember who I was. And I remember it vividly. I started thinking about all the people I knew at the time, and I was like, am I this person? No, I don't think I am. Am I? My camera died. Oh, great. Alright, 1 second. Okay, I'm back. Anyway, yeah. I was, figuring out who I was, and obviously this was pre-transition. I figured out who I was. Like, I said my dead name out loud, and I was like, oh yeah, that's me. And I broke down crying, because I was like, man, I fucking hate this guy. And then for about a week, I could not, like, my thoughts, the way I was thinking, I was not me. I mean, it was like a dissociative episode. I was thinking from some weird third-person perspective, and it felt really weird. And in that time, I considered transitioning, and I shot that idea down then as well. I was like, no, that's not a real solution. I essentially decided during that week that I needed to completely change myself as a person fundamentally. Obviously didn't go anywhere. But then, from then, I recovered from that. I started living my life again. I thought about it a lot. And then by July, I don't remember what else might have happened that led to it. But by July, I'd kind of just decided, fuck this. I want to be a girl. And now here I am. What I will say is that I don't think it has to be that difficult and arduous for everyone. For anyone, realistically. I mean, I can't speak for everyone. Like I said, every person's experience, let alone every trans person's experience, but in this conversation, every trans person's experience with realizing their own identity and coming to terms with it and coming out and all of that is incredibly unique. But I think regardless of how easy or difficult it is, whether your first conscious thought was, oh, this ain't it. This ain't it. Let's switch up. Whether that was your first conscious thought and your parents and all your friends were completely fine with it, or whether you had an experience like mine or worse, I think no matter how easy or hard your experience was, there's a real beauty in it. I think it really, it's really important to remember it and hold that experience dear to you. Huh? Dearly, near and dear to your heart. Am I Joe Biden? What the fuck? Sleepy Rora. It is 3 in the morning as I'm recording this. I don't know how often I'm going to record these. I'm debating doing it weekly, but I'm not sure. Maybe just every few days, whenever I feel like it. I don't know. But yeah. Remember your roots. And yeah. Remember the journey of how you got to where you are today. And always remember that realistically, even if the journey was a fucking cakewalk, you're probably doing better now than you were then. And, you know, things are always capable of getting even better. Wow, I'm shit at being motivational, huh? I tried. My hair is really pissing me off with this hat. I don't care though. My hat can do this, and my hair can't. Wow. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed my first video on this little journey. This video has been so about journeys. Wow. It's such a whimsical, deep journey. Top 10 niche references. I'll put something like there. Like the video if you get the deep journey reference. Alright, well, I'm sure I'll make another one of these soon if anyone's watching this. Regardless, I'm having fun. Who the fuck cares? Whatever. Bye!